Hi guys, it's Jona, Queen Hughes-Croston in the flesh, and I'm deciding in this moment to shoot this video. We'll see how it goes. I received a question in the group, and Jona of Ronn and Jona, Love in the Latter Years. If you're a part of our page, I may even share this on my public page, um, but that's who I am. I am here in Houston. My husband is in Nebraska, and I'm so excited. He's flying in this week, and so we will be here for the whole resurrection time. So I'm excited about that, and we'll have some plans and all of that. There's two things that's in my spirit right now, and that's something that Ron and I have been walking out for the month of March, as God, I believe, has us in preparation mode. And it started off with my husband calling a fast for the month of March. And the first couple of weeks, or shall I say week, I think the first week of the fast we were together. And then this trip came up for me because some things changed and shifted. And without going into all the details, this is where I am right now, and I've been here for 3 weeks, was not a planned trip. And so one of the things that I've been asking God for the last week or two is, why am I here? And then Ron misses his wife, and his wife misses him. And so some of you have seen our virtual dinner dates. But I know I've walked with God long enough to know that this is not a coincidence. And so off and on, I've just been asking God, why am I here? Why am I here? Well, no, what I've really been asking is, why am I here without my husband? And he and I whining on the phone to each other, like, oh, I miss you. I mean, we sound like a couple of high school kids. But spiritually speaking, I'm asking God, why am I here? Why am I here without Ron? And it wasn't until today I was listening to a message. Ron and I have a tendency, we talk and communicate so well together, but we have a tendency to communicate on Sunday mornings. And then through the messages of the Word of God, we get our answers. It's happened time and time again. Today was no different. So I'm on my way to church, and he and I are having this conversation, and then get to church, and the message that Pastor talks about just pretty much answered the questions that I've been asking God for the last couple of weeks. And then what Ron and I talked about this morning on my way to church. And so we received our answer, and Pastor opened up his message this morning with, when God is silent. And if you haven't listened to it, it's on my page. I really encourage you, especially if you feel like you're in a season where it's quiet, God is quiet, He's brought you to a place of solitude, and you don't quite know why. I encourage you to listen to that message. And Ron and I will be together this weekend. This is just no coincidence the way he did this. And then the fact that he allowed us to be in solitude together for a week, and then in solitude separate for the last 2 weeks, and now he's bringing us back together. So I'm excited. I can't wait to pick my husband up from the airport and be with him for the remaining of however long God allows. But I just thought it was amazing, and somebody needed to hear that too as well, so I wanted to say that. But I really jumped on here, and I'm probably going to drop this in place of Love in the Latter Years for this week. And we've been doing that. We've been dropping videos because, guys, we are in preparation mode. We don't want to get into some automatic, robotic type of thing like, oh, we're live every such and such at such and such a time. God has never worked with me that way. And if you've been following me with the Queen Network, you know that. And so got to get back to flowing with God. And so therefore, no, we're not just at a certain time every week, whatever. When God moves on us, we'll be live. When God moves on us, we will record it and we'll drop the message until he tells us different. But I had someone in Love in the Latter Years respond to a post. Go read the post. I don't want to go through the whole post, and the way I've got my phone set up right now, I can't read it to you. So the post was talking about when a woman is in love with a man, what she does. And one of you responded in such a way, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for being transparent. And here's the thing, you did it publicly. You didn't DM me or anything. You could have, but you didn't. And so I really, really do appreciate that, because the reason why I'm responding the way I'm responding is because I know there are a lot of women like you and I that are challenged with that same thing. And that's the fact that you're very strong. We call them type A personalities, but we've become very strong. We're leaders in the workplace, and sometimes even leaders in our own home if we're single parents. And so we've walked in what the world turned, you hear this masculinity versus femininity and so forth and so on, right? So we walk in our masculinity more than we walk in our femininity. It wasn't until 2019 that was pretty much open to me, that that's what was happening with me. And then some other things that was going on. And then I had to listen to God, and God walked me out of something that I got in myself over 40 years ago. And he explained to me what happened. He explained to me the benefits of what happened and what he was doing even in that season. And praise be to God, everything worked out, so forth and so on. And so last year met Ronn in May, proposed in June, and got married in November, moved to Nebraska with him in December. To say that it's been a whirlwind is an understatement. But I want to respond to her question, because she said that she's misunderstood. And the misunderstanding is coming from the fact that she's a strong, independent woman. I do want you guys to define independent, because I realize that I'm not an independent woman. I'm interdependent. And there's a difference. So I need you for yourself to go and look it up so that you'll never forget that definition ever again. I am not independent. I said that a long time when I was opening my heart to God as to my next steps in relationships, next step in business and all of that. I'm dependent. I need business partners. I need my sisters around me that can hold me accountable. I need my purpose partner. So no, I'm not independent, not in the sense of what the world has defined independence. And so that's a bill of goods that we've been sold, that we can what does it say? Fry the bacon. Well, no, make the bacon, bring it home, fry it, serve it. No. I mean, I can do all those things, but do I want to? Absolutely not. Not by myself. No, I don't. And so I want to respond to this persona that men see us so differently, because we come across strong. We come across, to some men, they say we come across hard, like we don't need them, and so forth and so on. So I love the way she put it. She says, I'm misunderstood because I'm submissive. I'm this, that, and the other thing. So here's what I want to, I can only say what works for me. You're going to have to ask God, like I asked God, help me to be the feminine woman that you created me to be. And I realized that there were certain situations that put me in a feminine state, and there were certain situations that put me in a masculine state. And if you're constantly dealing with those type of situations all the time, you're in your masculine more than you're in your feminine. Example, I'm an executive. So in corporate America, I'm in and out of boardrooms. That was before COVID. Now everything is virtual. I'm still in that position. So yes, I'm in a masculine sort of state where you're a leader, you're in control. A lot of times you are facilitating those meetings. You're running departments. You may have employees and so forth and so on. So that is that strong, stern, gotta be in control, got to be, on point all the time. When it comes to the feminine and you're with your guy, he doesn't need that. That's his role. He's the protector. He's the provider. He's the one that's kind of leading the household and doing all those things. And ladies, we have not done a very good job, nor have we been taught how to transition. How do you transition from leaving the office, being the head and the leader in that space, to being the helpmeet and the assistant in this space? Only you can find out what that is. I can tell you what it was for me. I think two things come to mind: music and the man. The way Ronn, and you guys have heard me say this, the way Ronn treats me, it pops up every now and then out of habit, but he's very quick, especially early on in our marriage. He'll tell me, I got this, babe. I got this. To the even down to me carrying my own luggage to the car, because it's happened. I've been doing it for a long time. You know, when I'm getting ready to go on a trip, I immediately just grab my luggage, and he's looking at me like, what about a piece of furniture? But guys, I'm just used to it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, and I forget sometimes that God has given me this amazing man to now lead, nurture, guide, provide, and protect. But I've been in that role for so long that the women's ministry had a great meeting yesterday, and it was about shattering patterns. And so we've kind of embraced these patterns. And so when a guy meets us or we meet them, those patterns show up. They show up as in being strong. They show up as being independent. They show up. And so we have to learn how to go from the workplace to the love place. And when I learn how to make that shift, I'm going to tell you something, is when I realized the weight of trying to be the boss at work. I said, one day I said it like this, it came out, I said, I don't mind being the boss in the boardroom, but I no longer have to be the boss in the bedroom. And all that said to me was, Jona, when you go home, you can rest. You can relax. The household responsibility is not on you anymore. And all of the different things. I watched Ronn take care of things that over the last, my adult life, I've always had to take care of. Now, you know how many patterns I have in there, how many habits I have built up in that. But what I realized, I can rest. I can relax. Because God has given me a man that knows his role and freely operates in it. And now that frees me to operate in mine. So that's for those that are maybe in relationships that maybe the roles are out of order. And God dealt with that with me a long time ago, and he helped me get through all of that. Some of you guys know my story. Now, for those of you that are single and you're not in a relationship, but you're saying, like this queen is saying, I'm misunderstood, you have to learn how to make that transition from the boardroom to the bedroom. And I don't mean the bedroom in a sexual sense. I'm saying from work to home. Because the man that God has created you for, that God has created him for you, that's not what he needs. He needs that soft, feminine, you know how to take care of business. He needs that part too. But he doesn't need you to control it. He doesn't need you to lead the household. He's got that. Or he should. That's who you should be looking for. So I'm going to say this, the practical side of me, I always like to leave tools. One of the things that I've learned how to do is I keep a lot of music going sometimes. Especially, I'm working all day. I work from home. Ron does not. And so towards the end of the day, I know pretty much what time he's coming home. And he'll tell you, he'll walk in the house, candles burning, because when I'm not there, he doesn't burn candles. So when he misses me, he's like, I walked in the house and all I got greeted by was the dogs. No candles burning, no food smelling, nothing like that. But I do that for a reason, because I want to change the atmosphere for me. And so, yes, he walks in and there's lavender and candles burning, and then there's music for me. Because what it does is it takes me out of all the meetings that I've just had. And I play the songs that he and I like, and that I like, that really puts me in a feminine, sensual, sexual type of space. That's what works for me. So that when he comes home, I'm Jona Croston, his wife, and not Jona Croston, the engagement manager who's had 6 hours worth of meetings. And then I get off of that and I bring that into our conversations, that hardness, that sternness, that whatever, into the space. I hope that helps, because some of you know how to be soft and feminine, but the energy that you're putting off when you're getting out of your car, when you're stepping into the grocery market, when you're coming from those masculine type energy spaces, and you still have it. Now, let's talk a little bit about when you're in conversations with them. For those of you that are type A, and I told my daughter this, because she's just like her mama. I tell my dad, when you connect with an alpha male, I've been with both, but when Ron is the first alpha male that I've been with. When you connect with an alpha male, he's leading. He is a leader. He is a provider. He is a protector. So when you're getting in conversations, and I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect at it because you got to shatter those patterns. But I want you to try something that works better for me. When we get in a conversation, rather than giving my opinion or making a statement, because guys, with our personalities as strong as they are, when we make a statement, it sounds like it's coming out some other kind of way. And that's where they get that, oh, you think you know everything. You so independent, you so strong, kind of like what she said, that she's misunderstood. And that's really not what you mean. You really are from the heart trying to help. But that's not really what they need. They're wanting that feminine, soft ear. And I can tell you how to get it by asking questions. Instead of making statements, try asking questions. Like, why do you think that is? Rather than offering the solution you think in your head it is. Well, babe, why do you think that is? So what is God saying about that to you? A lot of times you're going to get that, especially if you're with a kingdom man. He's going to say, I'm still praying about that or whatever. And that's great because he's going to get his answer from God. But that one little thing is to start asking questions rather than making statements. Because when you're asking questions, you're coming across from a very soft, feminine space saying, you're not necessarily dumbing yourself down. That's not what it is, because you don't know everything. You don't really know the perspective that God wants to lead him to. You really don't. You know what your experience has been. That's not what he's looking. He's not looking for your experience. He wants that soft, feminine ear to listen to him. That's it. So I hope that helps. If I said something that sparked another question, feel free to leave the question in the comments. And when you guys hear this will probably be Wednesday. Because once Ron lands, it is all about him. And I get to transition from all this business and ministry to just being his wife. And I missed that over the last 3 weeks. And honestly, I really did, because I'd kind of gotten a routine. I love cooking for him. I love serving him. Can't wait for him to get home in the evenings, because he and I, we have dinner together. And so, yes, I missed that. But that's why I had to ask God, okay, God, why are we separated for 3 weeks? We did not plan this trip. This thing happened all of a sudden. I don't believe God does all of a sudden like that. Okay? So anyway, hopefully that helped you, ladies. Those of you that are type A and you 6 and 7 figure talking, boardroom walking queens, but you are submissive and you are marriage ready, but you're still being perceived as that independent, strong, I can't go and read her post, because she when she said it, it reminded me of the space that I was in. So she was spot on. But it has to do with your personality and energy that you're exuding. And so there are some things that you can do to get rid of that, because that's not really what you're trying to do. You think you're being yourself, but you're really walking in that space that you needed to walk in when you're doing business and you're handling things. But that's not really the person that he needs when you guys are together, or when you're meeting a man, especially a strong alpha male. He can smell masculinity because he is one. So yes, he wants that strong woman that can handle business. My husband appreciates the fact that I'm in the financial realm and all that, and so he loves all of that. But he doesn't need that boardroom beast that I have become all the time, especially now when we in our marriage moments. I will say that, and that's a lot of things, whether we're handling business or whatever. I'm still his wife. So hopefully you guys get something out of that. I hope this, and I'm talking, hopefully this wasn't rocking too much, but I hope you guys got something out of that. You guys saw how I just changed the tone in my voice. I didn't mean to do that, but that's something that I do too. Because remember, when you're in meetings and you're in boardroom, you have that stern energy. You doctors and lawyers and executive females out there. And you come with all that energy. Well, he can feel all of that. So just dropping your tone and saying, how was your day, babe? How was your day? And then flashing that big pretty smile on him. you know, and not coming across like you the executive of the blah, blah, blah. So anyway, hopefully that helped. If you have any questions about anything that I've said, guys, just reach out to me, put it down in the comments. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback, and I'm looking forward to your questions. So have a great day. Bye.